What is up, YouTube? We're finally back again with another video. It's been a minute, but here we are. In this video, we're gonna build the engine for the Bronco, do a full reseal on the engine, and do an awesome paint job on it. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm gonna right now get the engine and transmission out of the parts ranger, but I'm not gonna film that, so I'll check in with you guys once we get the engine and trans out. Let's skip to the intro. Just got the engine, transmission, transfer case all out of the parts ranger in one go. Not too shabby. Now we're gonna probably separate the trans and T-case from the engine, put the engine on a stand, and get to cleaning her all up, putting some different heads and everything on. Stock heads though, just different ones. And doing a full gasket kit on it probably. It's leaking oil out of every freaking seal. Pretty nasty, but paint it up nice and get it ready to go into the Bronco. Guys, we're back the next morning. We got this engine semi-cleaned. We did a couple coats of the degreaser, scrubbed it down and stuff. All we had was a hose last night, so it was a pretty unproductive night. But now, got a, look over here, we got a pressure washer, so it should go a lot faster. We're gonna pressure wash this thing. I left this thing soaking in degreaser all night, so hopefully most of the sludge comes off. And then we'll do some fine cleaning with some rags and brake clean it all down really good, get all the oils off of it and stuff, and then put some paint on it. I got some black and not gonna like this, Chevy orange. It's a color, but it's going on the Ford engine. I like the color of it. So I don't know if I can do the whole block red or orange, I guess you could say, or do the block black and the valve covers the orange color and the oil pan or something. I don't know. We'll mix it up. We'll figure it out. But for now, we're just going to get it cleaned. So let's skip to me pressure washing. Yeah, the whole valley is filling with water. But that's okay. We're gonna flip it around. I'll pull the oil pan. I'm pulling the heads, pulling the oil pan. This whole front cover's coming off, and then we can get all the water out of it. Needs a good cleaning.
Yeah, it worked really well.
Yeah. Way better than trying to scrape it all by hand.
Yeah.
This thing will take paint nicely. We need to let it soak in for a bit longer, I think. Might have to get more of the degreaser, but I'm not too worried about the transmission. Brake clean the bell housing inside of it up. Okay, so we soaked that thing again. I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit longer. I think we should untarp that other engine and start pulling it apart. Like the heads and the oil pan and everything off of that.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so I'm at work here. We got the heads here, and I put a straight edge on them, and they're all good. They're not warped at all, and I blew through all of the intake ports and didn't seem like any of the valves were leaking. But I'm gonna double check. I ordered the top end kit, like head gasket kit and stuff for this thing. I'm gonna see if it came with valve seals. If it did come with valve seals, then I'll probably do the valve seals anyways. If it didn't, it's not a big deal, but hopefully it did. And then I can do valve seals. But other than that, we're gonna put these in the solvent tank till like the parts come. So like a few days, like at least like almost a week still. They'll be sitting in there soaking and it'll clean them all up nice. So I'm just gonna dump them in the solvent tank now and then head back home and kind of keep picking away at the engine, cleaning it up, getting it ready for paint and stuff. Get the oil pan off the other motor. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Oh yeah, I took the manifolds off, and I got all the bolts out them breaking, which is a plus. So I'll get new bolts for that, and it comes with new gaskets. But other than that, yeah, these are gonna sit in the solvent tank and get all cleaned up and nice. So I'm gonna put them in now. I'll see you guys back at the house probably. All right, guys, just got back home. Taking a look at the block here, it's actually looking pretty good now that I take a look at it. Like, it's still a little sludgy, but it's way better, especially around here. Looks really good. So, and this side looks really good as well. So it's just a little bit more cleaning. Awesome. All right, guys, I just got the block painted up, second coat. Looking really good. A few dribbles here and there, but I don't really care. It's a block. Decided to paint this part in the front black, and then the water pump's gonna be orange, so that'll be pretty sweet. Water pump, valve covers, oil filter housing, engine mounts that are sitting down there, and maybe one other thing, can't remember, but that's all gonna be orange. All that stuff's gonna be orange. Guys, just got the water pump off of the other engine, the fan and everything. Just been cleaning it, getting ready for paint. Obviously needs to be a lot cleaner than that, but it was completely black and gross before, so pretty good. Just painted this oil filter housing orange. Just primered those are gonna be orange too. Those are the motor mounts. I attempted to paint this, I prepped this really well, and I attempted to paint it black, and it got really cold and messed with the paint, and now it looks gray. So I'm gonna have to respray that when it's warmer out or something, I don't know. But I painted this after and it turned out fine. The orange is okay on the aluminum stuff. So yeah, but I'm just gonna probably spray those, doing their coat on that, and then call it a night. We're still doing the valve covers orange and lots more painting and stuff, but it's getting late and my GoPro's not even working, so I want to fix that before I continue doing too much work, because I want to be able to film it all for you guys. So the engine block turned out really good. Oh yeah, I don't know if I told you guys, I decided to go black with this front piece, right? And then the water pump sits right in the middle there, and that's gonna be orange. So the water pump's gonna be orange, so that'll look pretty good. But yeah, anyways, I'll see you guys when I see you, hopefully with a working GoPro. All right, bye. All right, guys, we're back working on the Bronco again. We're gonna be, here, let me show you. We're gonna be reassembling the engine today, cleaning it internally, and reassembling it. The only problem is we don't have all the head bolts, because I only ordered half the head bolts by mistake. We can still put the heads on, but we gotta wait until we can torque it down, wait for the head bolts. First though, we're gonna be fixing that oil pan, respraying that, prime it, paint it and everything, cleaned up nice. Same with the water pump, because I didn't have primer. Tried to paint it with primer, it didn't like it. Oil filter housing's good, motor mounts are good, so we gotta paint the water pump, oil pan, and valve covers, and then when the heads are on, we gotta paint the heads as well. I don't know if we're gonna paint them on or off, we have to figure that out, but yeah, and we gotta put everything back together, reseal the engine, timing chain cassette, bunch of stuff, and if we can get to it, I wanna pull the Bronco out, take the wiring harness out, clean up all the aftermarket wiring that's in there. I'll show you guys what it looks like later on, but it's pretty bad. Pressure wash it and clean it all and whatnot. So yeah, anyways, let's get to work. Alright guys, finally got the timing chain done. I when I took it apart, forgot to leave it at the number 1 cylinder at top dead center on compression, of course, and I didn't mark anything, so I'm just lazy. But so I just had to double check that I had it right, and I just guesstimated where it was before, put the sprocket on, put this one on, ran it over a couple times until it was on top dead center and compression. Sure enough, we were 1 tooth out, so I took it, brought it back, and now I just ran it back to top dead center on compression, and we're perfect now. Dots are lined right up, as you can see. So I'm just gonna double check the torque spec on that, torque that down, and I'll spin it a couple more times and just make sure that we're all good, and our tensioner's good, it's working. It fell apart on me. I had to just basically got this little like dog in here that grabs on each gear, and then as it comes out, it just goes to the next gear, and when you take it off, it popped right out on me. So I had to, you got to put like a little pick in there and push the dog back so you can slide it back. So I did that. But yeah, timing chain set's done. Tip: if you're ever doing timing chains, always make sure you mark your crank and cam position, unlike I did, because I was like, oh, it'll be fine, I'll just pop it off if the cam won't move, I'll pop the new one on, and sure enough, the cam spun on me when I was fucking impacting it back up. I'm like, oh god. Sorry, when I was impacting it back up. But yeah, we got it all fixed now. So now we're going to button that front cover back on probably, and then maybe do the valve seals and stuff on these heads. I gotta respray that guy and the oil pan that's up on the hood there. But yeah, I think we'll probably do the valve seals in the head or clean the engine. We'll see. Mosey's here now.
Yeah.
We're doing valve seals. I figured out the tactic for this thing. I just had her way too tight, but we got 3 done. We're on the second exhaust valve, 4th valve now. I don't know if I showed you guys the intake valves yet, but they're pretty clean. Exhaust valves are obviously dirtier, but they're still in like pretty good shape. Like there's not much carbon buildup on there. I'm just Scotch-Briting them up a bit and replacing the valve seals. Once we get both these done, then I can continue cleaning the block, the deck on the block there, and then I don't know if I want to paint this black or orange yet, just because the water pump pulley's black, but the water pump's orange. So I don't know, we'll make a decision and figure it out. Anyways, we're gonna keep going on these valve seals. On cylinder number, I guess that's number 6. That's cylinder, I don't know. Cylinder 3 on this head. I think it's cylinder 6. But yeah, that valve seal's done. The intake valve was full of oil. So the valve seal's leaking oil into the combustion chamber and vice versa. So good thing we're doing these valve seals. Alright guys, I just got all the valve seals done in the heads. Those are finished up. Austin's been working hard on this thing. He got the pickup tube all cleaned out. He cleaned up the whole valley in the top, and he got the decks pretty close to ready for cylinder head gaskets. But then our little tool we were using broke. This little yellow thing broke right off the bag grinder, so I gotta get a new one of those. Finish it another day. I still gotta paint the heads anyways. Now he's just putting the oil pan on. The oil pan looks sweet. Don't mind this. It's just from it sitting down, but that'll clean up fine once. I don't want to wipe it yet, but I'll wipe it tomorrow. It'll be fine. And then, yeah, we're just gonna bolt this up, and I'll put the oil filter housing on, which looks pretty sweet. This orange guy here. And maybe the water pump once it's fully dried. Let's see how that's looking. Water pump's looking nice. Whatnot, she's going back together though. So, yeah. We're gonna get this oil pan on, maybe a couple other things, but we'll be calling it a night soon. It's getting pretty late. Finish it another day. Alright guys, we're back out in the shop again tonight, working on the engine. Got motor mounts, water pump. Water pump turned out amazing. Not amazing, but better than before. Block's looking good, everything. Same as before. Been kind of slacking lately. But tonight I want to start on just getting these heads ready for some paint. Put some paint on them. And get the block cleaned and heads painted. And then put the heads on maybe. Might just get them painted tonight, but I mean maybe put them on. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just after work here tonight, so working for a couple hours here in the shop. And let's see what we can get done. We got these cleaned. I just started spraying primer on them. This is the stuff we were using before. It says rust tough zinc rich. I mean, it's rust prime surface or whatever primer, right? And then this is the stuff that I'm having to use now because I ran out of other stuff. And it says enamel primer, like eliminates rust and stuff. This is an enamel, and this isn't. This is way thicker. And this is way thinner, so it's taking a lot more coats. As you can see, it's pretty thin stuff. The other stuff is way thicker. I like the other stuff better. But it is what it is. We'll do another coat after this, and then we'll let it dry, and then we can paint them. I'll probably, yeah, just do another coat, and then we'll get to putting the water pump on, probably. Alright guys, so I just set these heads on there, just because they're still wet, but I'm gonna do the valve covers now, so there's one out of my way, but dang, this thing's starting to look like an engine again. It's actually looking super sweet. Obviously, we're gonna touch this up again, some paint, but yeah, it's actually looking really good. It's starting to show. The paint job's starting to show. Hopefully it lasts. Hopefully all this hard work on this paint lasts, because I mean, it's been giving me such a hard time, and I've been so not happy with it. But it's definitely looking really good. Super pleased with that. Let's get these valve covers prepped and primed. Alright guys, we're back again. We got the valve covers primed last night. And now we're going to try throwing some paint on them. It's about 5 degrees Celsius right now, so it's warmed up a little bit. So let's hope that the paint turns out okay. And we'll take the heads off and throw a bit more paint on them and then torque them down. And put the cams and everything on and the water pump and whatnot, and just get as much done as we can. And then we got to pull the Bronco out once the engine's together, pressure wash it, and start doing the wiring stuff. And then the clutch stuff. And we got to fix the water leak. I forgot about that. We got to figure out where the water leak's coming from. It's really bad. It's starting to mold in there and stuff. Not good. Anyways, I'm going to paint these valve covers, then I'll check back in with you guys. Alright guys, the valve covers are all done. I dried them in the house the other night, and they turned out really good. The only thing on this engine that's actually going to look good, at least they're on the top. Yeah, it was just so cold that I just put them in the house to dry, and they dried really nicely. Anyways, I'm going to put these heads on, torque them all down, put the rocker covers on, the rocker shafts on and everything, and put the valve covers and everything on and get this engine done and ready to go in. And probably put the lower intake manifold on too. And then we can step aside from that and get to work in the engine bay and stuff. And getting the clutch assembly out of this and putting it in that and all that jazz. So yeah, let's just get to work. Alright guys, got these heads on here and the push rods and rocker shafts and everything in. Just place the valve covers on, see how it looks. It looks pretty good. Paint turned out pretty good considering. But yeah, that's going to do it for today's video. The engine's all put back together. Just got to pop the lower intake manifold on there and stuff. Going to clean it up a bit, but yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was probably a long one, but it's well worth it. I mean, the engine turned out pretty good, so now that that's done, we get to move on to the Bronco, but that'll be in a separate video. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, tell us what you think, and we'll see you in the next one.